What a load of old rubbish. I've always wanted to trash a TED stage. I've done it. Thank you. Some of you at the front look a little shocked. It's okay. I know in India that we can be fined for dumping our litter in this sort of a way. But it's okay. I have my excuses ready. You see, I believe that we are all littering in many different ways. I might dump my trash here. This has come from the UK, by the way. I might dump my trash here in India on this very TEDx stage. But you guys dump your litter as well. When you take your rubbish plastics, you throw it into your bins without a care in the world for what happens to it next. Hey, see, the thing is, I know what happens to it next. What actually happens is most of it goes into landfill or to be incinerated. In fact, there's enough plastics that's now in landfill sites that since the 1950s, when plastic was first thought of and first created, there's enough plastics out there to fill 800,000 Taj Mahals. That's amazing, isn't it? Of that 800,000 Taj Mahals full of plastic, about 8 billion tons of plastic is added into our oceans every single year. That's the equivalent, by the way, of one garbage truck, one rubbish truck filled full of plastics, driving to our oceans and dumping its contents into our oceans for every single minute of every single day. That plastic's responsible for, well over 1 million seabird deaths every year and well over 100,000 sea life animals every year. The deaths of sea life animals. And it's our fault. But here's the thing, I wonder what would happen if we were able to make this stuff the same price or the same value as, say, something like oil. You people at the front would get over your shock quite quickly and you'd be rushing the stage to pick up my trash. I'm sure you would. About 3 years ago, I got together with a couple of mates, a couple of friends, and we decided to create our purpose. We decided to work out how can we turn this old trash into something that's worth as much as the oil that has such high value. We take waste plastics from landfill and from our oceans, waste plastics that are destined to go into landfill or be incinerated. Sometimes we're paid to take those plastics away. It's a great business model. And we process those plastics and we use them to replace part of the bitumen in an asphalt mix. That's a road mix to you and I. Now, by doing this, not only do we enhance the roads that our plastics go into, but for every ton of bitumen that we replace, we save a ton of carbon emissions. This stuff has good value, huh? We may as well use it. What we do is we formed a new style of recycling, a new way to think about the old plastics and the old rubbish that we all dump all over the world. We use up hundreds of thousands of waste bottles and plastic bags, and you name it, we can use it. What we're trying to do, really, is solve two world problems. The problems that we have in the world with the waste plastic epidemic that we're all living through today, and then on the other side, the poor quality of roads that many of us have to drive on today. What we like to do is create our purpose and make sure that we make a profit from it. And I recommend that for all of you here today. Last time I was in India, I met a guy who was employed as a picker. His job was to go to landfill sites and pick out various different items. Some of the items he was picking out were these things here, these plastic bottles that had been dumped in the bins. And I asked him, what are you doing with all those plastic bottles? It's fascinating. What are you doing? He simply replied with, I'm saving lives. I wanted to know more, right? So, through some very simple experiments, what he managed to do was create air conditioning units for people that were in poverty in India. Now, in May 2015, India was hit by a severe heat wave, and it caused the death of over 2,500 people. It left many suffering with heat exhaustion. What our plastic bottle man was able to do was take a plastic bottle and turn it into an air conditioning unit. This is how it works, right? So I'm going to ask you to participate in this. What I want you to do is to take out the palm of your hand and put it in front of your mouth. And I want you to open your mouth really wide and then breathe into the palm of your hand. You'll feel how warm your breath is, right? Now what I want you to do is to purse your lips this time and blow into the palm of your hand. You'll feel how much cooler that breath is. If you take a plastic bottle and replace the plastic bottle with your mouth, you cut the end of the plastic bottle away, the fatter part of the bottle, and you get a piece of wood and you put it in like a window frame. You drill some holes and you put the plastic bottle into that window frame. And then you put it up in the window frame, and what happens is the hot air blows past the fatter part of the bottle. And that blows through the thinner part of the bottle, cooling a room down by up to 5 degrees, saving lives with old plastic bottles. Now, from air conditioning units to these trainers that I have on here today. These trainers aren't any ordinary pair of trainers. These trainers are made with old plastic bottles found floating around the Maldives. In fact, 11 plastic bottles went into making these trainers that I'm wearing today. So it isn't just individuals that are thinking in this way, that are using old waste to create something life-saving. It's large corporations like the makers of these trainers that are starting to put purpose together alongside profit. And from my trainers to this very t-shirt that I'm wearing here today, this isn't, of course, any ordinary t-shirt that I'm wearing. This t-shirt was made by taking waste plastic bottles, again, and turning them into fibers to form this t-shirt that I'm wearing here today. So I truly believe, that by combining purpose and profit, they are powerful human motivators to change. And I think the power of those two combined has the ability to change the world. Now I'm going to clean up my mess, because I hate to see it. It's horrible to look at. I hope that I inspire you enough for you to do the same. Thank you very much.